What is going on, guys? BCD here, and today I just wanted to bring you a quick video. Basically, I just wanted to discuss my final impressions, final thoughts, final review of the Xbox One X, what I thought from its previous version to now. Just basically over having it for the last month, almost a month. I just wanted to discuss basically the impact and what my opinion is about it and whether or not you should actually go out and buy one. So starting off, basically, I'm just going to go over my review process. I'm going to do pros, cons, and then I will do toss-ups. So those are basically things that sometimes may be a deal breaker for some, but not for me. So I just want to add that so that everyone has. I don't want to miss out on anything like that. So starting with the pros, it's no mistake in the power increase, of course. It makes games look a lot better, just in general. So going from the Xbox One to the Xbox One X, you're going to see a significant boost in clarity, things like that. It's just really a significant increase from 1080p to 4K, even if it's not hitting full 4K. Sometimes it's hitting it so enough to actually make it feel like it is full 4K HD, and it really does show. You can see the difference really. I both have the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and just comparing the two, some of the games I have on both, only have like two though. So only two games I've shown, I can see the difference in pixel count and things like that. It really is significant. I'm not saying that the PS4 is on any slouch. I'm just stating that it has a better it has an advantage over the PlayStation 4 Pro in that aspect. It's more powerful. You already know about the specs and everything, so I'm not going to talk about that. So, any game that you really play is that third party wise: Assassin's Creed, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Mafia 3, Wolfenstein, Doom, Shadow of War, even backwards compatible games. Like, everything looks better on this system, so you're going to get that form factor. So, thinking about that, you're always going to have a better picture. Another pro, so that frame rate bump. Most games are optimized a little bit better on that system, so you're actually going to get a more steady frame rate for most of the games that you're going to be playing, which is significant in some cases. Like when you're doing frame drops, nobody likes frame drops at all, but it does get that frame, makes it hold steady to either its 30 or 60 frame target. So in most aspects of anyone, doing any reviews or doing any testing, it always seen a more significant bump versus others. It is some oddballs out there, like Fallout 4, but most of the time you're going to see an increase in what you're actually getting. 4K DVR. So the 4K DVR is actually a huge benefit for me. It's a huge pro in my opinion. I mean, a lot of people won't use it, but I use it heavily just to capture 4K content at 60 frames per second. So it gives you the ability to actually capture 60 minutes of 4K gameplay at 60 frames per second on pretty much any game that you want to play. And it's really neat in that way. It's not something that you have to add on or anything like that. It's all because under that $500 price tag. If you look at any Elgato 4K capture card, granted the quality is better, but better ain't gonna get my money anyway. So having the ability to do it is great. It having the ability to actually get that done, have that functionality, have that ability to upload that content, get HDR stuff as well, it's really beneficial, even if it's just and I'm not even saying that this is a bad DVR system, because the DVR actually is pretty good. If you look at any of the content on my YouTube channel, it all looks really sharp, really good, 60 frames per second. It's really a good DVR. It's not going to be a capture card quality, but once again, you're not paying $600. That Elgato 4K one is $600 by itself. You need the system, you need everything else, the PC to actually get the capturing, and it's $600 alone. So, just think about that. That is a very big pro, in my opinion, for any content creator, for anyone streaming. Oh, I don't know about streams, but any content creator, that is a big pro, big plus. You can even share little clips It's going to be in 4K, 60 frames per second if you really want it to be. 4K Blu-ray player. A lot of people was upset about the PS4 Pro not having that in there, but the actual Xbox One X actually has one. It was pretty crappy when it first came out. It did need an update, but now that update is there, it's like on par with all the mid-range Blu-ray players out there. 4K Blu-ray players, you're not going to get like a high-end one quality, but you're going to get a pretty good playback. And that's pretty much all I care about. I mean, I'm not going to be pushing. I don't watch that much physical media in the first place. I'm not going to have another Blu-ray player here to test that on. If you want to look for that type of stuff, there's other channels out there. But I feel like for what you're paying for $500, you're getting a lot of things for, and a little drop in quality for the 4K Blu-ray player output is fine with me versus not having it at all. Backwards compatibility, I still feel like that's a pro. You're going to be able to play Xbox One games, you're going to play Xbox 360 games, and you're going to have select titles for Xbox games, or select titles for both. But more and more of the Xbox 360 games are coming out. The Xbox Ones, I don't think so much, but more and more of the Xbox 360 titles will be coming. So you're going to be able to play games like that. Like I was just playing Metal Gear Rising. That's a game that I missed back on the Xbox 360. I just didn't feel like playing it at the time, and I have the ability to play that now just because of the backwards compatibility. I don't have to pay outright for anything else. I can just actually go pick it up at GameStop used or something like that. Or if I had a friend that had it, just pop it in and it's all ready to go. It's still a media center. I just feel like the media center part was always elevated more than the actual the gaming part piece. Now the gaming piece caught up to the media center, and now you got this really good package. They sold it as a media center at first. They tried to flip it around, but at the end of the day, it was really a big, massive media center. It was way too expensive to just be a media center. I mean, the games that they were launching with it, the power of it wasn't up to par. If this Xbox One X was the first thing they launched with, it would be perfect, but it wasn't. So you have to understand that it's still that media center component. It still has everything that you can do with it. It has all the apps, everything like that. So I put that in a pro because it always had a good media center function. Now it has a great gaming function as well. Well, a better one. I'm not saying that the Xbox One was crappy or anything, which, I mean, I can get away with saying it was crappy. I mean, I'm not saying that it was the worst, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't where it should have been. Similar in all aspects. So everything about it is still similar. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out if your components will work or anything like that. Everything will still work with your system, all your components, all your controllers, accessories, things like that. Everything still works. So it was very easy to just pop in, pop out, and put the Xbox One X in a replacement. It was just very simple. Another pro is, in my opinion, the actual price of the system is a pro. You're getting something that you're not going to be able to get for $500 on a PC. You're getting a 4K Blu-ray player bundled in with that. You're getting a DVR bundled in with that. You're getting a 360 bundled in with that for select titles, of course, and an Xbox bundled in with that for select titles as well. All of that combined, you're not going to find that anywhere for $500. You're not going to be able to do all those things under 500. So this price point is a pro. It might not be as easy to take in after you spend 400. I mean 500, 400, like, well, 500, 300, and then another 500. It's kind of ridiculous. That's a lot of money to be spending on one company in one generation. But if this was the first one that ever came out, it would be no competition. This is really the end all for this system. This is the one that they should have came with first. If you never went for an Xbox One and you just got Xbox 360, this would be something that's fantastic for you. But if you had an Xbox One original, then you had an Xbox One S, then you have an Xbox One X, there's no way me justifying that at all. It's just hard. But like I said, I didn't pay full price for it, and I would never try to pay full price for anything I buy. So I didn't feel like it was such a scam or I wouldn't call it a scam. It was just a bunch of upgrades for no reason. They should have started at this point, but I know the technology wasn't there probably. A lot of things they had to figure out on their own. Phil Spencer got in there, but I don't know. If this was the first one, this would be great. Um, Enhanced support is actually constantly still being updated. A lot of developers are jumping on their old games, putting that stuff in, making sure everything is updated. Microsoft is getting with these people, making sure everything is updated, make sure it's a great update versus not. It's not just trying to, they're not just half, they're not going to just, they're not going half at it basically. They're trying to actually make sure the upgrades look beneficial. Bethesda was putting out some pretty good ones. That Skyrim run really wasn't that great previously, but all the other ones are really looking good, are really looking promising. They all look good. They all look promising because they're already out. You still have more to come. The support doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon, so that's a pro. With the PS4 Pro, I felt like it was nothing that really was beneficial of an upgrade. I didn't feel like everybody was really jumping on the power of the Pro. So now that we have the Xbox One X, they obligated either to try to fit that two markets. Now we have two markets. It's more convoluted. People are going to try to support it. Microsoft got money, so they're going to put money behind it. PlayStation probably don't have as much. They got enough exclusives to cover themselves. So they probably wasn't putting that much money in the enhancements, but they were doing it in their own studios, which Horizon Zero Dawn, like, come on, that's a good looking game. Um, so pretty much those are all my pros. So just starting off with the cons now. 4K TV with HDR is required. I wouldn't I wouldn't buy this with a 1080p TV. I don't care about the super sampling, anything like that. You're basically going to be paying full price for half the benefits. If you have a 1080p TV and you have an Xbox One X, you're going to be looking at frame rate and a couple more pixels pushed to you, like super sampling wise. It's not going to be a perfect. It's not going to be great. It's not going to look awesome. It's not going to make you feel any different. Even right now, like I can feel the difference, but people come over, people look around me. Only gamers really notice the difference between 4K and 1080p. They think everything looking the same. If you go to the average Joe, they're not going to know the difference. And so, do yourself a favor. If you do have a 1080p TV, do not buy the Xbox One X. If you have a 4K HDR TV, buy the Xbox One X. You already got probably one of the more expensive TVs on the market. Why not cope it with something that really is going to show off all the benefits of having that television? 4K TVs in general by themselves without HDR, you're doing yourself a disservice if you have a 4K TV and you didn't decide to get the HDR10 compatibility or Dolby Vision. Most of them Dolby Vision have it. If you have Dolby Vision, you more likely have HDR10 support. That's coming down the line. I'm not sure when, but you really are doing yourself a disservice if you don't have that functionality because it really does make the difference. Another con is the lack of exclusives. That is a huge con. Even though they have some exclusive games, I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that they are old, lackluster. If you have boasting 50 exclusives and you only want to play like 5 or 7 of them, it really makes you feel like you don't have any exclusives. So especially if everything else is coming out on Windows 10 too, it's like it's not really exclusive. I can play this on a PC. So you're giving most of your exclusives away, and then you expect us to count that with you. Like, no, it's not really with you. It's a PC game as well. Cuphead was amazing, but it's a PC game as well. You can get it on Steam. So lack of exclusives. I feel like they should really put some more effort into their software, and I think they really flourish with that if they had some actual. They really need to get some writers in there, some designers that really know how to make some games. PS4 has been knocking out the park, and I don't see them slowing down for 2018. They still got some pretty good games coming up. It's just really going to be interesting. You have more power, so you want to play your third-party games on here, but now you got to give me something else to get those other individuals that want to buy your console, but don't really care for, the pixel count, the more power, things like that. How are you going to get those people to come over? So that's pretty much their dilemma. Exclusive games would help. it's just, and then another con for me, I mean, it's not a con, it's a toss up because do you want to just buy a PC versus actually buying an Xbox One X that has more functionality? If you're already tiptoeing towards that area, it might be better suited for you. I just know for $500 you're getting a actual good value with that. But if you are looking at PC, you can put a lot into $500. You can get a lot out of $500 plus a little bit more. You might not have a Blu-ray player, but if you never care for that type of stuff, the DVR, you don't care for that type of stuff, you can really get a pretty good PC for that. It's just not going to be like 4K ultra settings. It might be 1440p high settings, something like that, around that mid range, and you really will have a good experience on there as well. And you might even get better frame rates anyway. So it really just depends on what you guys feel. But that is a con. That is a con, in my opinion. It's really hitting that mark where it's almost PC, but at the same time, you're not gonna do as much as that for a PC on a PC anyway. Some of the toss ups here, user interface. Some people really hate that thing. I enjoy it, but some people really hate it. I enjoy it because I feel like it's more fluid, it's easier to use. I feel like I can get to everything. I know exactly where everything is. It feels more modern, it feels more responsive. But some people really just outright hate it. So that is a con for you. If you hate the Xbox One's UI, then you might not want to pick it up. But that's like a small gripe. That's why I put it in the toss ups versus putting it in anything else. I don't know what any other toss ups would be, but that's pretty much all I have for you guys. My opinion, my final conclusion over everything or everything I talked about, I would recommend this to anyone who had an Xbox One, who had an Xbox 360, and going to the Xbox One X. If you had bought an Xbox One and an Xbox One S, if you ain't getting this for $200, then you're doing something wrong. I would not pay. If you already invested in them and you're looking to buy this, you better stay under $200. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much who I recommend it for you to anybody looking to get actually a good console. This is a good console. They still have some gripes they need to fix them, but overall this is still a good console. And I can't stress that enough. It really is just bang for your buck. It blow your mind when you first look at it, especially if you're a pixel counter like I am. If you look for that type of stuff, I'm not a pixel counter, I wouldn't say that, but I do check for that type of stuff. I do see the difference. And it's crazier when you don't even look for the difference and you see it. It's crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. If you like this commentary, if you have some different suggestions, put that down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. Did you pick one up? Or are you gonna skip it? Probably both gonna skip it, but I think I made a good enough case for it. I put some cons in there too. But yeah, just let me know. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you are interested in subscribing, don't forget to hit that button and then the bell if you want as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, peace.